What is going on, you guys? I'm going to show you how I beat Trokka in first Berserker Khazan, and she is a tricky one. And I'm sure the reason you're here is because you're just frustrated with this boss, much like I was when I was fighting it. So I'm hoping this video can help you guys out. I'm going to show you my skill tree because I feel the skills for my spear came in very clutch for this fight, and I highly recommend using the spear because of the reach it has and also the skills just lending to that and giving me projectiles of my own. But if you decide to not use the spear, hopefully you can find something equivalent that just kind of gives you that reach and aggression in order to close those gaps, because she's always moving, she's always backing up and creating distance, and you want to keep aggressive and stay with her. So for my skills on the spear, you can see I have swift attack all the way down the middle, so that way we can get our moonlight stance, which grants additional stamina attack damage. You want that helps a lot. And then on the chain we have chaser and then shadow reversal, which flips the enemy backwards, and I feel this did help with kind of stunning and giving more stamina damage to the boss. Also on the shrewd tab we have the crescent strike, which I love to use after doing a brutal attack. I'm gonna get that all the way powered up. And then finally on the guard tab here, you can see I have the defense up, also eagle wind, and this is going to be very important for this fight. And you can see it actually shoots out projectiles when you do have it all the way upgraded. So this is going to be the one that we're going to rely on, and you're going to see why. Now let's get to my gear. I used the honor guard spear, which I thought was really good. It did a lot of damage. And then for armor, I used the knight set, which becomes available just before this boss fight. It was somewhere in this area, I can't remember exactly where, but I did find the piece in order to create this set. I used the necklace of resilience, which gives some more stamina recovery as well as max stamina, and that of course helps. You need a lot of stamina in this fight for sure. As well as the ring of sealed water, and this is important because it gives water resistance, which is good against this boss. I also highly recommend using vitality spheres for your item because this is going to temporarily increase stamina recovery rate. And again, stamina is just so important. You're going to be using a lot of it, so it's good to keep that stamina recovering very fast. I was also level 91 at the time, and you can see my stat distribution right here. So let's get to the fight. I'm going to break down a few moves that the boss does and then how I countered those moves. First things first, all of her projectiles do damage even if you perfect guard. That's what makes this boss so difficult, is because we've been spending this entire game perfect guarding and having success, and then now we're doing that and still getting damaged. So that means we're going to dodge. All of these attacks, we're just going to do our best to dodge them, okay? And at the same time, when it comes to specific attacks that she does, you're gonna wanna stop her from doing them. From the storm clouds to these projectiles right here, you can literally stop her if you're aggressive enough and you get there in time. So you want to keep that in the back of your mind to constantly be aggressive, but then at the same time, we're going to slow it down and anticipate specific moves as well. Like this one, of course, the counter attack, which is going to happen. And then also you have to remember that after you connect this attack, she will follow up with something else. So you don't want to get too greedy afterwards. She almost always follows up with something that will punish you for your greed. Also, she's got this little 3-piece combo that she does. You can perfect guard those, okay? That's not projectiles. These you can perfect guard. Also, she kind of does this whirlpool kind of attack where it does a lot of splash damage. You want to dodge backwards. I noticed when I dodged to the side, I would get hit. So dodge backwards. She also does a lunge, which you want to dodge to the right on this one. If you get attacked by this, it could be devastating. You do not want to get hit by this. When it comes to her projectiles, she has many different ones. Again, you're going to want to dodge them, not block or perfect guard them, because it will do damage to you. Now, these 3 projectiles right here, I've noticed that I could not really stop them. I had to just dodge these, and getting a little bit of distance I think helped with my dodging because it gave me more time to connect those dodges. So yeah, keep that in mind. And then of course she does this dreaded attack, which happens in like the second phase where it's just tons of projectiles. She's up in the air and you'll notice these jellyfish that are just kind of hovering around. There's red ones and then there's blue ones. You want to go to the blue ones because this is going to give you stamina that will regen, and this will allow you to dodge like crazy. So you can dodge to the left, to the right, you can zigzag it, whatever feels comfortable. But being next to these blue jellyfish will allow you to just continuously dodge, which is what you have to do. You want to get through these, and then she's going to bring a bunch of them like this, like a wave. And you're going to want to dodge forward through those. And then another big counter attack. You definitely want to land this one. This whole part of the fight could just be so devastating. So you want to just do your best to dodge through and just make sure you're standing next to those blue jellyfish. And speaking of those blue jellyfish, there's another move she does where blue ones come out, you're gonna snag that stamina and then back up like this because the red ones come out. Those do damage, you don't want to touch those. And this is where I used the eagle wind, just to get those extra projectiles and get them in there and get some damage and then kind of stop her in her tracks at times. This move came in so handy during the fight, which is why I really recommend it, and then also recommend, of course, using the spear to do it. It just helps a ton. And the reach that the spear has, of course, speaks for itself. Sometimes she does a lot of backing up, which can be very frustrating. Even with the spear, I got frustrated at times, but it at least gave me that advantage of like having that reach and being able to close the gap and get some attacks on her. And then lastly, when it came to the brutal attacks I was able to do on her, I did land the crescent strike afterwards. Like I said, that was the other move I like to get in there. It just gives me some extra attack damage and keeps me in the flow of just putting damage onto her. You want to be aggressive with this girl, that is for sure. All right, so with all that said and all those moves broken down, I'm going to watch my successful attempt with you and just kind of talk you through it, and then you'll see where those moves happen and how I countered them with all the breaking down that I just did. Okay, so first of all, I try and run up to her to stop her first attack. I wasn't successful on this one. As you can see, I did get hit. So I just did my best to recover and dodge through that last one. Get in there, put some damage. She does a counter attack. I land it. And then there's that move where she does the splash damage. I dodge backwards. So far, so good. And then here comes the jellyfish. So then I dodge backwards. There's my eagle wind, as you can see, just constantly putting in damage. Here's that 3-piece combo. I land those perfect guards, which you can do. And then we already got her to the first exhaust state. And I go ahead and put in that crescent strike after the brutal attack. I dodge to the right there. Remember, we're going to dodge right on that lunge. And it's happening so fast. This is after me putting a ton of attempts, right? So I'm in the flow of things. I'm zooming. And then there I get hit by those projectiles. Again, you don't want to be touched at all. I could have done better with my dodges there, but nonetheless, I survived. Here we go with some more projectiles. I stopped them, as you can see. Put in some more damage there, and then another brutal attack. And then after this, she does that whirlpool move where I dodge backwards. There, successful. Went to the right on the next lunge move. So I'm doing pretty good so far. Here comes the projectiles. You're going to want to dodge through. As you can see, yeah, no damage. We don't want to touch them. Again, I'm dodging to the right on some of her attacks. I think dodging right just works because of her weapon and how it is. Another whirlpool. I did dodge a bit late, I think, and I got hurt right there, so that kind of sucked. But I just stayed in the game, you know. I just did my best to dodge what was next. And right there, you can see I just kept to her body. I dodged through. Even though those projectiles weren't stopped, I was able to get away from them. Another brutal attack, another crescent strike. And then now here comes the part where she's in the air and it just gets wild. And I start off kind of bad. I get hit with some of them, but I just did my best to recover. I just stuck with that blue jellyfish so I can keep that stamina going. Did my best to dodge through, got hit, unfortunately. And then here comes the part where a row of them come through. You're gonna wanna dodge forward and then be ready for the counter attack. Here I get, unfortunately, hit with this, which I hate so much. That's so devastating, but unfortunately I missed that. But I just stayed in front of her, kept aggressive, dodged to the right again. Whirlpool, see, when I dodged to the right, I got hurt right there. You want to dodge backwards, not to the side. Then you got more projectiles, dodge those. Then these things, I don't even think I went over these yet, but they're the worst. You're just gonna dodge those as well. The timing can be tricky. Then she even comes through with her umbrella. You gotta perfect dodge, or perfect guard that, sorry. You could dodge it, but guarding that is fine. It's the projectiles that you don't wanna guard, okay? Those are the ones that hurt. And then here we are again, we're just staying aggressive. Here comes the jellyfish again, we back up, and then I of course use the eagle wind yet again. And we just are going in on her, okay? Just trying to stay as aggressive as possible, but also we're popping those stamina items and we're staying fast and getting that stamina back faster. And here comes the projectile attack again that we dread, but we gotta do it. And you'll notice that I switched to my phantom form because I could not find a blue one to stand by. So I kind of had no choice just to do that because I wanted to survive. And I do recover a bit and I'm able to survive that and then land that counterattack again. Here she goes with more projectiles. We're dodging those, dodging these. It just never seems to stop, does it? It is constant. Back up on that whirlpool. And then, I don't even think that's a good name for it, but you know what I mean. Back up there, brutal attack again. We go ahead and heal right there. And it's just rinse and repeat. Getting through those projectiles, dodging, getting to her, keeping on her, and just being aggressive. Parrying when you have to, but of course, when it comes to those projectiles, we're gonna dodge them, be ready for the counterattack again. And really, we're looking for those. We want those because they help so much. And I'm not doing my best here. I'm a little bit sloppy, but I'm just doing my best to hang in there. As you can see, I don't have any more heals, but I did have the shards to pop to help me out. You want to have some extra heal items because you never know, man. You just might need them. And then she hits me with one last thrill here. Having to be next to this blue one again. I'm just doing my best to survive. I found the second one. We're here. We're dodging. I'm just doing my best. And thankfully, I was able to get through most of those. Dodge forward again, counter attack, and we're going for the win, man. We could taste it. We could smell it, but we don't want to be greedy. We want to just get in there, get it done, man. Get it done. Dude, it was a crazy fight. And I'm sure you've been going through it. I'm sure you've been feeling that adrenaline. It'll be worth it, okay? I hope this video helped. Seriously, I hope it does. Let me know in the comment section if it did. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in my next one, all right? Bye.